Good morning, everybody. It is day 2 of my section hike. Again, it's still counting towards my 2024 through hike attempt miles. I'll talk about that in a upcoming video. But I hit the trail about 10 minutes ago. Headed south today. The goal is somewhere in the vicinity of, I think, 12.1 miles. The plan is to stop at Pine Knob Shelter. I was at Raven Rock Shelter last night. And it was a rough night. Just a lot of noise. It's a popular weekender spot. To make a long story short, lots of people that don't know about Hiker Midnight. And I think I mentioned in yesterday's video that there was like a transient guy living there. Not living there, but he's just moving up and down along the trail. People that don't have red lights on their headlamps shining into the shelter. I had a self-proclaimed snorer that set up camp next to me in the shelter, which I get if you snore, like you should still be allowed to use the shelters, but at the same regard, like if you know you snore, I don't know, I feel like you should use a tent to spare everyone else in the shelter. I don't know. But anyway, gonna make it nice and easy, low-key day today. Got nowhere to be anywhere fast, so just gonna enjoy the day. It's supposed to be beautiful weather, and I'll check in with you guys later. All right, had my first real water crossing back here. It went right through here, and definitely got my feet wet. Don't really care too much. This was supposed I can't talk. It's supposed to be a nice day, so I imagine they'll dry out quickly. It is supposed to be cold again tonight though, so hopefully my shoes dry. Otherwise I'll have frozen shoes in the morning. But yeah, last night was cold. I don't think I really mentioned it. I think the low is supposed to be around 34 without wind chill. I was gonna bring my 30-degree quilt and summer liner on this trip because I haven't used them yet. But with the overnight temps these first couple nights, I decided it was probably better that I bring my 10-degree quilt and my fleece liner, and I'm very glad I did, because even with that last night I was still shivering a couple times, so that also didn't help me sleep very well. But yeah, so far so good. I just did a downhill from the shelter to a road, and now I'm headed back up. I'd say in 3 miles or so I should be coming up to Ensign Cowl Shelter. I'll probably pop in there, use the facilities, and keep cruising. But the forest is so pretty right here. It's getting very green and I love it. All right, I'll see you later. Alright guys, so I'm here at a really pretty great water source. Water all around. I didn't really need water just yet, but I don't think I encounter water for another 7 miles or so. I had about a liter, but I'll be stopping for lunch during this 7 miles, so I figured I should top off here while I know I'm at a good source. And yeah, I think we've got another 2 miles to the shelter still. I'm just slowly meandering today. It's a gorgeous day. No need to get to camp early. It's a Sunday, so I don't think the shelter will be all that busy, hopefully, not like last night. So I shouldn't have a problem finding somewhere to set up my tent tonight. So I'm gonna pack up and get moving. a gorgeous day. I just met a flip-flopper named Slide Rule and Hobear. Some of you might know him from YouTube. And I'm definitely moving slow today, but we got all day. I'm about, I don't know how far in I am because my watch changed screens. Let's see. 3.5 miles in. Like I said, I've only got, I don't want to say only, but I got 12-ish miles today to go. It's only 10 o'clock. So, plenty of time. I want to say I'm probably like 1.5 miles or so, maybe less, away from Ensign Cowl Shelter. I'll probably poke in there just to check it out. And it's too early for my lunch break, so I'll have to find somewhere else to take that. Coming up on Foxville Road right now. And one last little uphill before we go down to the shelter. And then it looked like we got a pretty steep climb out from the shelter. The rest of the day is not too bad from what I recall. But yeah, I'll check in probably at the shelter. Give you a little look-see. See you then. Alright, so I think I am finally coming up on the shelter. I thought I might have gone by it when I started hearing road noise. But then looked up and saw the roof sticking out over here. So let's pop down and see what the shelter's like. It looks like it's emptied out from last night. I know a lot of people were headed here, but let's see. We have a bear box and a bear pole. So again, this is Ensign Cowl Shelter. Looks like a nice shelter. Not as big as Raven Rock, but equally as clean from what I can tell. Fire pit. Yeah. Seems nice. Maybe not as clean. There's, I thought that was a mouse, that's a bird. Yeah, pretty nice. All right, so I just completed a heck of a climb out of Maryland Route 17. And wanted to pop on and just chat about like what my goals are for this section that I'm doing. So first and foremost, I want to use it as like a gear shakedown and a fitness check. So I don't have all of the same gear that I'll be using starting at Katahdin, just because I brought my 10-degree quilt instead of my 30 and a couple of other minor things. But for the most part, it's all the same gear. So just using it as a shakedown, making sure it all works and that I like it, and seeing where my fitness is at. Currently, a couple months out from my start at Katahdin, working at REI for the last 5 months, plus my full-time job really put a kibosh in my fitness training plan. Didn't have any time to go to the gym during the week, and only really had 1 day a week to get out to hike to train. So I want to see where I'm at. I did leave REI. My last day was a week ago, so that I can really focus on training and spending time with friends and family before I'm gone. So that's my primary objective. Secondary objective is to kind of get some confidence back. when it comes to backpacking. So ever since I ended my 2022 attempt, the most I've ever been out is one night. I don't think I've done more than that. And that was very few and far between anyway. So I haven't really been out on a multi-night trip in a while. And I ended my 2022 attempt on kind of a negative note, just like feeling really down and not confident. So my goal is to get some confidence back, to realize that I can do this and I'm capable of it. So related to that, my third objective is to also make sure that this is still something I want to do, to thru hike this trail. I'm not gonna lie, I had some fears coming into this week that I'd get out here and feel the same way I felt when I ended my 2022 attempt and realize that, hey, I actually don't want to do this. But so far, those fears were unfounded. So we'll see how the week goes. But my arm is hurting right now, so I'll come back momentarily with the next goals for this trip. All right, real quick before it exits my mind. I think my last objective for the trip, outside of just getting some miles done, is to kind of learn and practice being more intentional and present when I hike. Historically and in 2022, I was just very focused on going fast, doing big miles, and kind of just like only looked at the end goal, like whether that was Katahdin or the end goal for even just the day, like, hey, I gotta get to the shelter and I gotta get here as quick as I can because I need a spot and gotta set up and I just want to get there and get done so I can relax. But my goal this trip is to be more intentional and present, go a little bit more slower, take in my surroundings, enjoy the day, and also get to camp and practice being more social rather than being a recluse. You know, I had a habit in 22 of just getting to camp, setting up my tent, and then sitting in my tent all night and only being social when I was eating. But I want to practice being more social and talkative and work on meeting people and forming some connections, you know, albeit how short, whether it's just for the night, for a couple nights or whatever. So those are my goals for this trip, and I think they're pretty good goals to have. So I'll check in at the end of the trip to see how I feel about everything, and let you know. All right, check in. It is 12:05 and it is getting warm. My thermometer says like 55 only, but it feels warmer than that, at least in this fleece hoodie. I have 1.5 miles to the Pogo Campsites, so I anticipate I could get there in like a half an hour. So I might eat lunch there. I assume there will be picnic tables, or at least somewhere to sit to have some lunch. So that's the plan. It's mostly flat or downhill to there, so I should be able to get there in a half hour. And then, yeah, right now we're on 8.25 miles for the day. So not too much left, honestly. After lunch, I should only have like 3 miles or something. So even though I've been kind of going a little slower today, I'll still be getting to camp plenty of time. I could push on, but I think I'm just sticking to my plan. I don't know how far the next shelter or campsite is anyway, so sticking with that. If something changes, I'll of course let you guys know. But I'll check in with you guys when I get to lunch, show you Pogo Memorial Campsite, and yeah, see you then. Alright, so I'm at the Pogo Campsite. It's in memory of Pogo Reinheimer, who seems like he died very young, 1958 to 1974. I don't know who that is, but now I'm curious and we'll probably look it up at some point. What I didn't know was that these campsites were kind of uphill, and I don't really have any desire to go up there just to see if there's a picnic table when these rocks look decent enough for a spot to sit and relax. It's not that warm of a day. There shouldn't be any snakes hiding under here. So I'm just gonna plop myself down, have a little lunch, instead of going up there. Lunch of the day: tortilla, pepperoni slices, and some Cheez-It crackers. I'll probably just have one, and some snacks. Alright, so I'm on the Blue Blaze to Annapolis Rocks right now. I was thinking about skipping Annapolis Rocks, but my friend Heather said don't skip it. So it's 0.25 miles and it's downhill. So Heather, this better be worth it. Just kidding. Seen a lot of day hikers out and about nearby, and not surprised because I think this is a popular day trip. So I will show you the view when I get there. I think it's going to be just around this corner here momentarily. So bye. ¿Va a comer más pollo? Alright, so I just left Annapolis Rocks. It was definitely busy, but it was nice views, beautiful day. I've got just under 2 miles to the shelter, and it is 1:49, so I should be there within an hour. I'll be there before 3, and then I'll set up my tent. Not going to sleep in the shelter tonight. It's supposed to be another chilly-ish night, but want to give my tent a whirl. This shelter's also a lot smaller. It only sleeps 4 people, so I don't want to be crammed in there with 3 others potentially. So I likely won't check in until I get there, so I'll see you guys then. All right, I am on the Blue Blaze to Pine Knob Shelter. We are gonna walk down. Far out says tent sites are along this Blue Blaze. So I'll keep my eyes peeled, but I'll probably walk down and see what the situation is here and go from there. It seems like it's a pretty long Blue Blaze. I don't remember what far outside. Oh, here's a privy over here. So far I haven't seen any tent site necessarily, but it looks like there's maybe a clearing up here, so I'll be back momentarily. Small little shelter. No signs of anybody here, so that's a good thing. There are a couple gadgets here that I assume maybe someone left. I I would think if there was someone staying here, I would see more evidence. But I think there might be some tent sites over yonder in the direction of the spring. Let's go see. Bear cable, bear box. Yeah, here's a tent site here. Another tent pad up there. So I guess I have my pick. There's a couple up this way. I don't know that I want to be right by the bear cable. Generally speaking, maybe tucked away a little bit more. So maybe one of these guys. All right, this is the chosen one. Pretty open above me. Not a whole lot of possible deadfall. There's a nice little seat, rock seat. The fire ring's nearby. And then the bear pole is right there. Shelter's over there. The spring is supposedly down this trail. And the privy was somewhere up there. But yeah, there it is, right there. So I think I can get there from this little trail right here. So I think this is the one. All right, gonna rest for a minute and then set up my tent. Hey guys, so I just took like a nice 20-minute nap. It is 5:30 and there's still no one here at the shelter, so I feel like I'm going to be here myself tonight unless there's some people rolling up real late. There were just some day hikers here because it's an easy hike in from the trail up to Annapolis Rocks. So there are some day hikers here, like oogling, however you say that word. The backpacking lifestyle. I was still in my tent. I had just woken up from my nap. I knew if I kept sleeping, I would just not wake up until like 2 a.m. And I knew I had to get up and eat. So them coming in was a good enough motivator to get out of my tent and see what the heck they were doing. I've got dinner cooking right now. I've had some butter noodles, nor sides. Sitting at the picnic table in front of the shelter. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna make sure I have all my food out of my tent and fanny pack. And I'm gonna put my bear bag in. There's a nice brand new bear box here. They've got bear poles also, but bear box is easier. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do all the things I need to do. I already went down to the spring and got some more water. So yeah, I am doing pretty good. It's a little, I don't want to say boring, but just quiet here compared to last night. Last night was so many people, so like such hustle and bustle, but it was a Saturday versus Sunday, so not unexpected. I'm just glad there's not like a homeless or transient person here, because I would definitely feel a little uncomfortable by myself. So yeah, gonna eat my dinner, gonna pack some stuff up, gonna give myself a little wet wipe bath, and I'm gonna crawl into bed. Maybe start editing today's video, get those all done and out of the way so I can get them uploaded. I don't know what's going on with my hat here. So I can get them uploaded when I'm in Harper's and scheduled and all ready to go. Yeah, this is like so crooked. Anyway, yeah, I am meeting up. My friend Cloud Splitter that I mentioned earlier is running in tomorrow morning. The trail AT north to this shelter is one of his usual running routes, so he's gonna run up and maybe meet me here just to say hey. And he lives real close nearby. And yeah, tomorrow's another similar day to today, about the same mileage. I go through Washington Monument, which is exciting. Staying at another shelter area is the plan, and setting myself up nicely for a fairly easy day into Harper's on Tuesday. Tomorrow's also the eclipse, and didn't plan in advance far enough to actually have eclipse glasses with me. So not going to actually be watching it, but I'll be out here to experience it when it gets dark mid-afternoon. So that's fun. The weather's supposed to be nice tonight, low of around 40, I think. So not as cold as last night, yay. And the weather tomorrow is supposed to also be good. Sunny, high around like 60, and no rain. End of the week is supposed to be a little bit rainier though, so I'm enjoying the sunny days as they come. All right, guys, good night, and see you tomorrow.